J'adore le sport, j'adore la compétition. C'est un grand challenge, je sais pas le mot. C'est un grand défi pour moi, le sport, et si je peux essayer de réaliser le meilleur que j'avais de moi-même, je suis contente dans ma vie.
I knew what the winning time was when I went, but there were a lot of really good riders in my wave, so I kept thinking, don't base yourself on 24:04 that my teammate Evie did, and she's awesome. She's on great form right now. I didn't think that time would be beat, but I didn't know, so I just went with what was my best. And I kept looking at this purple bracelet today, and I was looking down, and I'm like, come on, Clara, just go as hard as you can. And without crashing, I won the race this year, so I'm pretty happy about that. That's a little moral victory for me. Keeping the rubber side down.
Parlez-nous du bracelet, vous en avez parlé en anglais, le bracelet vous portez.
Oui, c'est une cause, une fondation pour une jeune fille qui est tuée 2 années passées, qui s'appelle Darren Richardson. Et j'ai vu cette bracelet dans ma course et j'ai pensé de Darren, j'ai pensé de les jeunes gens qui ont des problèmes de santé mentale et j'ai pensé si je peux faire, si je peux être forte, aujourd'hui je peux être forte pour les jeunes gens.
So, knowing what happened last year, what were you thinking when you came into that turn on the first lap?
I was just thinking, okay, if you stay up you go slow, you lose a second. If you go down, you lose at least 10 seconds. And I still went fast. I love going fast through turns, and I did clip my pedal a little bit. Oh. And I was like, whoa, Clara. But then I got through it, I'm like, okay, I made it. Check.
Right. How did you feel up there?
It was hard, but I felt great. I'm just starting to come into my racing form for London, and it's really starting to come together, and this is just the beginning of what I'm going to put together for the Olympics.
Claire, I don't know if you had a chance to see how your Canadian teammates did, but I think Shaw and Ramsden had pretty good rides. Bodes well, I guess, for the Canadian team in London.
Yeah, I keep saying we have riders in every discipline, male and female, that are proving to be the best in the world. And this is the most exciting time I've ever seen in Canadian cycling across the board. For women's road, I mean, Denise and Ray, yes, but also Joelle Newmanville was third in one of the toughest, if not the toughest, World Cup that we have at Tour of Flanders this spring. So there's some amazing results, and it's going to be a great Olympic team. I hope to be on it.
What is your dream like? What do you dream about when you see at London, when you see yourself at London, to be satisfied?
D'être satisfait à Londres, je voudrais donner mon meilleur, voudrais réaliser mon meilleure performance de ma vie sur la bicyclette, comme j'ai réalisé aux Jeux Olympiques de Vancouver. Sur patin, sur la glace, je voudrais la même chose.
Tell us about this race you're mentioning too that's been very hot today. In Europe it's been relatively cool. What was your impression of this race here in Gatineau, your first time I think here?
Yeah, it was long, hot, and I mean I don't have an excuse. I've actually been in the heat for the last 3 weeks, so I can't really say I come from cold Europe. So, but it's different, you know. I haven't raced for 4 weeks. I had a bit of a break, and now I'm starting the preparation for the Olympics. So, you know, you never know where you stand. But I knew I trained well with the time trial on Friday, and you know the team looked after me today. I was allowed to be the sprinter and not be on the front all day, so it was a good thing.
Yes, because we've seen you many a times working off the front, and I remember your last race in Montreal a few years ago. You did a lot of the work. Ina, once again, Germany, another powerhouse in cycling. What's the feeling back home in Deutschland regarding these games in London?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know who's going yet, so I hope I'm going, you know.
This will help.
Yeah, this will help. Yeah, I mean, we're a strong nation too. The Olympics is always hard to make because the teams are smaller than Worlds, and I mean, as Rochelle says, we have 8-9 good riders who could be all good competing at the Olympics, and only 4 get to go, and 2 of those have to be time trialists. So, you know, it's always a hard thing, and it's really important to get the right group of girls together and work together because the team is so small. If you have one person who's not on the same plate, then it just doesn't work, and I'm pretty sure our selectors will do a good job in getting the team.
What kind of race was it? I mean, what was it?
It was fairly defensive in the first 50-60k, but then it was pretty aggressive, like breakaways the whole time, and yeah, as I said, it was just hard to make it stick, and then every good team has a sprinter here too, so I think we were all pretty happy too that it came down to a sprint. Yeah, I mean, I think I will be going if I stay healthy, so, you know, knock on wood, I'll be fault, you know. I mean, she was taken out by somebody else who got like just went too quick around the roundabout for her, and then you just can't direct when you're behind it. And she had a pretty bad crash already in April, like Clara, like in Tour of London, you know. And I think she had a bit of a, you know, we are old, so it always hurts a little bit more than the young ones. So, and I mean, it was just, they weren't fast, but she went over the handlebar. She probably landed on the bike, so she probably hurt her back a little bit. And
it's another reminder of how short life can be. I mean, nobody expected that Randy would be at the Olympics this year, and it's just, you know, I carry his spirit in my heart, and it's a reminder that you gotta live it while you have it, just like he did, you know, and like I do, and I will continue to do as long as I still have it. Fun. It's great to race in Canada. I really hope that one day this can be a World Cup race with a time trial and with a road race. I think it would be awesome, and I think Canada is showing that we're a growing cycling nation. With the races in September in Montreal and Quebec for the men, why not have a World Cup for women in Gatineau in May?